Hello everybody, hope y'all are doing good out there today. So for a while I've been wanting to make some tutorial videos on some basics of Clawhammer Banjo. Clawhammer Banjo, in my opinion, is the most exciting, the most fun banjo to play. Any kind of style of banjo, but especially even over other instruments. I mean, piano's good, of course, guitar's good, mandolin, all the rest of them are very enjoyable, but none of them reach the same amount of excitement to me as Clawhammer Banjo does. But the problem is, so many times when you hear people play Clawhammer Banjo, it's just, they've got it so fancy. Or they've got it like in a formula of how to play it. And it takes all the excitement, all the character, all the joy out of it. And so I was wanting to make some basic videos and tutorials, just kind of showing some basic things and ways to play the Clawhammer Banjo. Now this is not complicated. It will take time, it will take dedication, and it will take practice. But if you will set yourself a goal, I am going to do this X amount of time every week. And if it's enough time, and if you don't give up, you will figure it out. And it's really not that hard. You just got to realize this is going to take time. You don't sit down and say, I'm going to play it great in a week. You say, I'm going to play this good in a year and a half. And you'll have it really good in a year and a half. You may have it in 6 months. But don't set a goal that's unrealistic. It's going to take a little while. Now, whenever we talk about Clawhammer Banjo, some people don't have an understanding of the different kinds of banjo. There's different ways of playing the banjo. You've got your bluegrass style, which is where you use 3 fingers with picks. And, you pick out a melody. One of the older styles, and believed to be one of the original ones, is what's known as clawhammer. And when clawhammer is played, you hold your hand instead of back here at the bridge and picking with picks. You usually wear no picks at all, and you play up here at the top. And this is what it sounds like. And that's what a melody sounds like on a Clawhammer Banjo. Now, the motions you're doing, as you notice, it's called Clawhammer for 2 reasons. It's called claw because you got your hand kind of like this shape. It's called hammer because you're making this motion. You're hammering down toward the head. So that's clawhammer. Now, there's 2 parts on the banjo. You got your right hand, you got your left hand. Clawhammer has to do with what you do with your right hand. Of course, if you're left-handed and you have a left-handed banjo, everything I tell you will be reversed. But when I'm talking about the right hand, I'm referring to the side with the head on the banjo skin. And when I'm saying your left hand, I'm meaning your fretting hand. Now, on the banjo, going up the neck here, you're going to notice that we have these little metal bars. These are known as frets. This would be fret 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and on down it goes. You're also going to have 5 strings, and Clawhammer Banjo is played on a 5-string banjo. There are 4-string banjos and there are 6-string banjos, but Clawhammer is a traditional 5-string banjo. You're going to have your 4 strings attach up to the headstock. You're going to have your 5th string be a short string that attaches on the side here. This one will not be fretted. Your left hand will not be pushing down upon that string. It's going to focus on these 4 that are attached at the very end up here. Now, whenever we play these strings, the goal of the left hand, its purpose, is to adjust the string length. And by adjusting the string length, it adjusts the sound the string makes. And the way that is done is by picking one of these 4 strings and pushing them down right before the middle fret. Okay, so we would say fret 1, fret 2, fret 3, fret 4, fret 5. If I say we need to push the string down at fret 2, what that means is you're going to find fret 2, 1, 2, and you're going to push the string down just before you get to that fret. See how that is? You don't put your finger right on top of the fret. You put it right before it, just like that right there. So if I say on fret 2, you're going to be right behind that fret. And you're always going to be right behind the fret heading toward the tuners. You're going to be on the tuner side of that fret. And that's the purpose of the left hand. Now let me illustrate how the pitch changes. I'm just going to play the 1 string, But as I play this string, I'm going to move my finger up this string on these frets, and you'll hear how the pitch goes up. You see how you can change the pitch? And that's done through the sliding of the left hand. The right hand, on the other hand, what it does is it makes the notes sound. That's usually its purpose. So it's actually twanging the string like that. Now, there are different techniques that are going to be employed by your right hand. But basically, you need to start with learning your basics, and then you can go up from that. But there's two main forms of clawhammer banjo. You've got rhythm. That's what you'd sing with. And then you've got melody. And then, of course, you've got a mix of the two. Most times you play the banjo, it's going to be a mix between the rhythm and the melody. So it's generally going to be a mix. So what you got to learn, and this is where your hand has to be trained. It's going to take time and muscle memory. So with your right hand, there's a few motions you got to get down. And to illustrate this, I'm going to bring the camera closer. So the right hand is the part of clawhammer banjo that truly makes a clawhammer. To begin, you're going to take your arm, you're going to probably lay it around here somewhere on your banjo, and you're going to let it rest. Now you're going to be aiming for somewhere between here and here. This little area right in the middle here between my two hands is where you're most likely going to be playing on clawhammer banjo the most. Now, when you do this, the shape your hand needs to be in is going to be something like this right here. Just relax your hand. You see how I got my hand relaxed, and then I curled my fingers under slightly, just like that. Now, when you first start doing this, you're probably going to have a lot of tension in your hand. That tension will not stay. Once your muscle memory gets built in, your hand's going to relax, and you can hold this position all day without even trying. It'll get really easy. Okay, so you want your fingers curled under, and your thumb you want to be facing up toward the neck. See how I got my thumb facing straight out like that? That's very important, because that is some of the character of playing clawhammer banjo. You don't want your thumb like that. You don't want your thumb like that. You want your thumb to be able to rest on this top string. Now, as for tunings, I'm in standard G tuning. G, D, G, B, D. There are other tunings, but that's your most basic, and that's the one you'll probably start off with. So get you, you can do it on your phone or get you a tuner like this. That way you can get tuned up. As I make these videos, I'm going to assume that you'll have your banjo tuned up to the same G tuning as I do. Okay, so when we think about motions on the right hand, I'm going to go over these briefly and then we'll talk about them again in the next video. There's two motions you got to get down first. There's a rhythm that's known as bum ditty, and that is this. That's called bum ditty, and it's because it's... And that's basically what's happening there. So the bum is when you go down and you strike a string. Now when you're doing that, you're hitting a string with the back of your fingernail. See how I'm doing that? Now that is the main motion that you're going to have to get into play. Now you can use your first finger or you can use your middle finger. I use my middle finger. Some people use the first finger. You can even do it with other fingers. But that's not best. You should really use one of these two fingers. You'll figure out which one you like better. Just pick one. One tip I've noticed, if your middle finger tends to be a lot longer than your first finger, I would use your middle finger. It makes it easier in my opinion. And so this is called the bum, and this is the basic motion of Clawhammer Banjo, is to take your hand, and you can notice, I'm using my whole arm to a degree, but especially my wrist. I'm not doing this. I'm going kind of like that. It'll be a fluid motion. Now, as you practice this, and this is what you really need to practice, I would practice on hitting the bottom string, the string right down here at the bottom. That's known as the first string. Just practice this motion. Now, as you do it, keep your thumb out like this, and let your thumb rest on this top string every time you come down. See how my thumb is resting on that string? Get used to doing that. And that is the first motion you need to learn in Clawhammer, and that is called your bum. Bum, 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 bum. That's how people are going to count it. Now, in the next video, we're going to talk about what a bum ditty is, and that's going to be this. But first, before you get to that, you've got to get your bum down. Get to where you can do this easily. When you can do this easily, you're going to be getting to the point where you can start working on doing your basic clawhammer rhythm. And this is probably going to be the hardest part of basic clawhammer playing. Just to get this rhythm down. Once you get this rhythm down, you're really going to be able to start learning songs and start developing your clawhammer banjo skills. So go ahead and practice this motion. Get your hand set on your banjo, just sit down, aim for that first string, the string on the very bottom, closest to the ground. Hit that with your first or middle finger, keeping the shape of the claw like this. Keep your thumb extended, and rest it right on the top, on that very top fifth string, that little short string. Just let your thumb rest on it. Now, you're not really plucking that string, but once you get this motion down, and in the next video, we'll talk about the plucking motion that's done in Clawhammer Banjo, and we'll talk about the first rhythm you need to get down. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, put them down in the comments below. Y'all, have a good day. Bye-bye.